I see a lot of musicians making the same mistakes when it comes to online marketing right now. That's why this week's video is to help make sure you guys don't do the same mistakes. For each one of the mistakes, I've explained what the problem is, but more importantly, how to solve it, using examples from my own experience. For those joining me for the first time, my name is Rebecca Smart-Buchan, and I help musicians grow their audience and business online. Go ahead and hit subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to get notified whenever I share a new lesson about music marketing. I launch about one video per week. Today's intro music is brought to you by Ryan Correa. It's his song Ghostwriter. Check it out on Spotify, and let's take a listen for a few seconds. Link is in the caption. If you want your song to be featured in my intro, all you have to do is share yourself watching this video and tag me on Instagram. Or subscribe here on YouTube and comment on this video. Every week I will feature one upcoming musician. Maybe next week it will be you. All right, let's get started. 2020 has been a difficult year for a lot of us in the music and entertainment industry. And it doesn't look like anyone's gonna be able to play live gigs or concerts again for a while. So optimizing your content and marketing online is an absolutely essential for success right now and into the future. Here are some of my tips to help you not get stuck with the same problems as everyone else is doing. Let's get started in 2021 with the right tools and knowledge to make it a better year than the last one. First mistake, not collecting email addresses. All right, so you may be thinking, do people still use emails? And the answer here is yes. And it can be actually more effective than social media if you do it right. So the issue with social media is that you are not in control of who see the content that you share. You have no idea who gets it on their newsfeed, and there is no way for you to guarantee your followers will see it. Of course, there are always ways to optimize your content so more people will see it, but the reality is that on social media, only about 10% of your followers actually see your content. For example, if you have a single you're trying to promote with your one post on Instagram to your following of, let's say, 1,000, only 100 people will see that post, while only maybe 10 will go over and visit your profile. And then maybe only 3 will click the link in your bio and actually check out your song. Whereas if you have an email list of, let's say, 1,000 that have opted in to receive emails from you, then all of these 1,000 people will receive the email. Even if you only have an open rate of, let's say, 30%, the amount of people that's actually opening your email, this is 300 people. And let's say out of that, perhaps 10% click and check out your song. Well, that makes about 30 people, which is a lot more than the 3 that you got from Instagram. Of course, you have the advantage of showing a preview of the song through content on Instagram, but it's difficult to move traffic over to another platform, such as Spotify or SoundCloud. Usually, the people who are on your email list have already hung out on your Instagram and perhaps are ready to take the next step into getting to know your brand a bit more. They are moving closer to making a transaction with your brand, and they want to be a part of your community. So what's the best type of content to share via email as a musician? The biggest misunderstanding of email is that people only use it to sell and to promote. That's really why email has gotten such a bad reputation, because businesses have only really used it to sell, sell, sell. You need to move over to value-based marketing and actually provide content that shares value. I mean, this goes for any channel that you're using in your marketing, right? So email shouldn't just try to sell you stuff. So what type of content can this be? Well, it could be a personal note from you with your thoughts. It could be a summary of what's going on behind the scenes, thoughts on a specific subject, exclusive content, basically. Think of this as your VIP club. Really start treating them differently than your social media followers. These are people in your inner circle. And how do you start collecting emails? Well, this video will help you with this and get started with email marketing as a musician. In the caption, I will link to every single video that I'm referring to, and also tons of other free tools that I refer to in this video as well. Check it out in the caption. Mistake number 2 is only utilizing one channel. So this is kind of continuing on from the last subject of not owning your data. So the internet is changing so fast, and one platform is the next big thing today, and can be gone tomorrow. So we had a bit of a scare as Trump declared war on TikTok, China, and had the goal of banning it in the US. Things like this can happen. I mean, I'm sure we all remember Vine's peak, and then Instagram just killing it by introducing the 15-second video in 2013. And I mean, remember MySpace? If you're only banking on one channel these days, you're running your business and marketing at a high risk. If you had a large following on Vine or MySpace, that following was almost gone in a blink of an eye. It's not like you can download your followers and plug them into a different channel. The platforms owns the data, as well as your followers. And not only that, you are missing out on lots of traffic on other platforms and other channels. Your fans and potential fans are hanging out in other places right now. They're on YouTube, they're on Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, lots of places. If you are present where they are present, you're also optimizing your chances of being seen and heard wherever you are. I'm present on many platforms, and new people find me every week through different channels. I meet new professionals within the music industry through the content I share on LinkedIn and Music Link Up. Then I meet fellow readers and writers through the platform Medium. I share video lessons on YouTube where new musicians meet me every week. And I share lots of different content on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, so people can meet me there as well. Another great platform to take advantage of as a musician is podcast. If you think of the different formats and the amount of content that's being shared, podcasts have a lot fewer content creators. As of now, far more people write blogs and do YouTube videos than podcasts currently. If you do not want to have your own podcast, then reach out to other shows and ask to be a guest on theirs. Start trying to be visible everywhere where your audience hangs out. The most successful people share different content on different platforms and channels and use them all differently. For example, I use YouTube for my longer lessons, while over on Instagram, follow me there, I give shorter quick tips. Give people a reason to follow you everywhere. Remember how I broke down the numbers on your visibility, where a small percentage of your followers see your content? Well, by spreading yourself on several platforms, you're also increasing your visibility. How many different entrances are there for people to get into your brand and your music? If you have 2,000 followers on Instagram, 300 on YouTube, 1,000 on Facebook, and 400 on Twitter, you are increasing the chances of more people seeing your content and your brand. Also, potentially converting more people into fans rather than just followers. Mistake number 3, not using enough video content. So this is where most platforms and channels are focusing their efforts. All of them are heavily investing in video content, whether it's live streaming or pre-filmed. Using video to communicate and share is going to be the key to success. And I'm not talking about the one cool music video you made that got tons of views on YouTube. I'm talking about the consistent content that you share every week on your channels. In the last few years, we've seen the introduction of so many different video content on Instagram alone. It's the IGTV, the story, the live, the reels. All of this is heavily focused on video. Whenever I start working with my clients or my students in my class, I always start with this topic, moving over from only doing pictures to trying out video content. Using video to express yourself, using video to share something. Find your format and experiment with it. Those who are able to nail down video will have a huge advantage on all platforms. Those who create video series that people can follow or binge watch are creating a deeper connection with the viewer than just an image and a caption. The challenge for musicians is to find the format of video that is right for them. The challenge for musicians is to find the format of video that is right for them. Doing vlogs and documenting your journey where you are in front and center might not be the right format for you. Perhaps doing comedy clips on Reels or tutorials on IGTV is a better fit for your personality, but you will not find out which is the best method for you until you start testing and doing. I'm gonna link to a post that I did that will help you with your camera shyness, because you are going to need it. You need to start getting used to the camera being in front of you and talking directly to it. Trust me, it takes a little time to get used to, but when you do, you can really start getting creative with your videos. If you're only just starting out with videos, you need to invest some time into learning how to use some editing tools so you can prepare your content for the channels. The easiest way to get started is with a tool like Vemely. I'm gonna link to this in the caption. This is basically a drag and drop social media editor with pre-made templates. However, when you start investing in camera equipment and you start doing a lot more filming, you need to do some proper editing before you size it for Instagram. You need to get to know the tools such as iMovie, Final Cut Pro, the Adobe packages, and all of that. If you do not wish to learn these skills, you can also simply hire someone from somewhere like Fiverr to help you with editing for a small amount of money. Either way, at some point, you will need to start editing your videos and adding some effects and all of that. However, start with what you have right now and do not let equipment stop you. If you were looking to my first videos, look at this. They were just raw clips with not much editing. I've come a long way since then, but my videos back then were just as valuable as they are now. They just look a lot prettier now, don't you think? If you think you need tons of equipment to get started, you're wrong. By starting small, with smaller concepts and then growing them, you will find out through testing what equipment that you need. Every week, I film a 10 to 20 minute long video for YouTube. I could, of course, optimize the video every week and spend hours on editing. However, I know I have another video next week, so I can continue testing and improving as I go and make small changes and improvements each week, rather than spending all my time and energy making the first video the best. There are so many other crucial factors to video production that comes into place after you post as well. How does the audience react to it? By learning this while you go, you will gradually start finding some video formats that work for you and that your audience engages with. That's why you cannot start bulk filming content when you start testing formats. The formats can change every week, and you need to be prepared for this. Don't think it's just going to be that one video that is going to make or break you. It's a process that will happen over time. Stop worrying about the finer details and trying to make it perfect, and just start posting. The more you do, the more you will get the hang of it. Until then, test. Mistake number 4, not creating a community. The days of being a superstar, surrounded by security, not having to speak to your audience, are over. The internet is a whole new ball game, and if you want to make it without the help of a huge record label or the push of someone else, you need to understand how to grow your presence online. The name of the game online, and of course offline, is to start creating a community around your brand and music. What does this actually mean? Well, I want you to think of your online profiles as your rooms. If you go live on Twitch, for example, who are the ones who are hanging out with you? And what are you guys talking about? What interests do they have other than liking your music, obviously? What do you share in common with them? Usually, a fan is mostly just a reflection of your personality and identity. I mean, the reason deadmau5 was one of the first musicians to really conquer the internet is that deadmau5 was also a gamer. This is one of the most loyal online communities there is. What deadmau5 did was to attach his music to his identity. His audience, which of course naturally consists of a lot of gamers, he uses gaming to connect with his audience. And this is one way he has spread his music so well. His community is so strong and loyal that they follow everything that he does, especially online. Because of his core and loyal following, he was also one of the first musicians to really build a proper online business with digital products around his music and brand. His membership platform is a VIP club where you can be a part of where you get access to exclusive content from him, as well as engagement with him. When you have a strong and loyal community, you can find several ways of monetizing this and creating products around it. But it all starts with who your community is. I've said this before. Mass marketing is over. You need to stop trying to cater to the radio and the masses. Finding your tribe and your niche is the way to break through the noise online. Gathering people who have the same values and interests as you is the best gateway to expanding your audience. This is also the reason why I decided to launch my membership, the Smart Launch Club, where I'm gathering musicians who are currently launching music independently and need some help. The whole purpose of the club is to go in with music to launch, and you will get the help from me and the resources you need to do so. Then I can gather a community of musicians and help them where they need it the most. But the key ingredient to any membership is the community. It's also a way for me to launch a lot of music to the world without being a musician. I want to help you out. To start creating a community, you need to 1. Create your rooms where your tribes are hanging out. 2. Create content. 3. Talk with them, engage. The more niche and personal content you can share, the easier it will be for someone to connect. And when they do connect, you need to make sure that they come back and interact with you by engaging with them. It's a lot of work. And in the beginning, you will feel like you're gathering just one fan at a time. And unfortunately, that is the reality of building a community. But if you keep working at it, it doesn't take too long until you reach 100 fans, and then 1,000 fans, and so on. Having 1,000 loyal fans who will check out your music and will engage in your content and buy your products are far more valuable than 100,000 followers on Instagram who barely even give you a comment on your post. Creating a community is the way to go. Find your tribe. If you want to learn more about how to create products around your music, check this video out. Last mistake, not enough consistency. Success doesn't come from working occasionally. It comes from working consistently. And the same goes for marketing. Your fame will not come from that one amazing single launch that you did with a cool music video. It will come from the marketing activities that you do every week. So each week you need to set aside time to create content for your channels. And there's lots of ways to optimize this. Here's a video that will help you with that. But you need to have a plan. You need to know what you're going to post every week. And you need to commit to X amount of content pieces per channel. This goes for any channel. Consistency on Spotify is also one of the keys to grow your following there as well. So when it comes to your socials, start by committing to a number of feed posts you want to do per week. Then you need to be consistent in what you're sharing as well. Every week, you may want to share some content that can go viral. However, this type of content may not build a lot of trust and is typically just entertaining or inspirational rather than being personal. This video will help you with how to create viral content, specifically for Instagram. Therefore, you also need to share some content that builds trust and is specifically made for your followers and the ones who engage in your content. You will of course get less interactions and visibility sometimes for this type of content because it's a bit deeper than the viral content, which is typically a bit more vague and on the surface. The reason you need to create both shareable content as well as deeper, more specific content is that you need to have content that can cater to every step of where they are in your funnel. Are they just getting to know your brand, or have they been following you for a while? If they've been following you for a while, you can give some deeper content that requires more time from the viewer. This is how you convert a follower into a fan. You also need to share some promotional content every week, as you also need to use the channel and the engagement and the traffic that you get on the channel and move it over to your other channels, such as Spotify, your website, YouTube. If you have a content plan to stick to on each channel, it will be much easier to create consistency in your posts. So how often should you post on each channel? Well, each channel favors consistency over frequency. So whatever you can stick to over a long period of time is the way to go. Use Creator Studio to schedule your content so you never have to post from your phone ever again. Then you also need to have consistency in your engagement and networking with your followers as well. The work you put in is exactly what you will get out. I mean, I see this all the time on my Instagram. Some weeks I'm really go in and network. I talk with a lot of people on the platform, and this will continuously boost my numbers that week and maybe continue over to the next week. However, if I stop engaging, it will die down. You should also create a plan for the engagement. Every day, log into the platform and do this. First of all, engage with your followers, answer your DMs, reply to their comments, and comment on their content. 2, engage with strategic partners, collaborators, influencers, basically networking on their pages and content, right? You can also do activities such as the Gary Vee $1.80 method, which I have a video tutorial right here, linking to it in the caption as well. And the same goes for live. Going live on the channels is one of the most effective ways to grow. But to really optimize this, you need to create a schedule. I mean, that's the #1 rule on Twitch, right? Which is becoming one of the biggest and best streaming platforms out there. You need to create a weekly schedule and stick to it. If you are using Instagram to go live, you need to then commit to how many times per week and stick to it. Start with something simple, as just a short conversation with someone that you've collaborated or are collaborating with. You will then see that by going live consistently together with other people will help to continuously grow your reach and your fan base. So when you plan your consistency in marketing, first make sure that you plan out how often that you're going to post and what the content should be. Then plan out the activities that you're going to do to grow your account, such as live, engaging, networking. Create a plan and stick to it, and always learn as you go and change and make modifications based on what's working and what's not. The success is in the process online, and to have a process, you need consistency. And for this, you need a plan. So let's summarize. Mistakes are not collecting email addresses, only utilizing one channel, not using enough video content, not creating a community, and not enough consistency. By making sure you've got these 5 essentials down and utilizing all of the channels your audience are present on, you open up so many potential doors to connect with your fans. Use them to create a community around your music and do it consistently. Communicating with video is the best way to optimize the real estate on most platforms nowadays. While you're at it, ensure you're collecting the email addresses of those followers who'll stick with you for some time. You own this data, and it's of much higher value than any other number of your follower list. That's it for today, guys. If you like what you see here today, give me a thumbs up, and now is the perfect time to subscribe. Thanks, see you next week.